Hi, it's Rosa Collado with RMC Empire, and I am so excited to be here with Jennifer. I've been working with Jennifer for a couple of years now, and I wanted to bring Jennifer over to kind of go over what's going on in Florida. So, Jennifer, let's start off. We know what your name is, but if you can give us your full name, how long have you been in the business, and where do you work out in Florida?
So I am Jennifer Wade. I am in Orlando, Florida, and I do business all over Florida. I've been in Florida since I was a little girl, since I was 12 years old, and I've been selling real estate actually now going on 12 years. So I know a lot. I actually grew up in Kissimmee, which Kissimmee at that time was nothing like what it is right now, but I saw the evolution of Kissimmee. Now Kissimmee is one of the hottest places to invest in. And I also now live in Orlando in the Dr. Phillips area, which if you know Florida, Dr. Phillips is right. If you know Orlando, Dr. Phillips is really close to like Universal Studios and Disney World and all the attractions. So my favorite place, my favorite part of Orlando, actually.
Awesome. So I'm glad that you live in your favorite part. So while we're talking about investment, right? You just mentioned that right now Kissimmee is amazing. So tell us a couple of other locations that are up and coming that some New Yorkers don't know about that will be a great investment to start off with.
Yeah, so I think the low-hanging fruit when we're thinking about investing, especially short-term investing, is going to be anywhere that's within minutes from Disney World. I've been seeing them increasingly produce well. So if you stay, I like to tell people like stay within 20 minutes of Disney World, and that takes you to cities like Davenport, Reunion, Florida, Celebration, Florida. Celebration's a little unique because Celebration is, they don't allow short-term renting there. But what Celebration does offer is a wonderful option for buying your second, third, or fourth home. Just a nice family area. In order to kind of keep that family culture, they don't allow short-term renting in Celebration, Florida, but it is a hotspot for people that are looking to buy just a vacation house near Disney and still keep that like family feel. It has such a homey vibe, Celebration Florida does. It's a small little pocket in Kissimmee, very close to a lot of attractions. But yeah, most people around Celebration is Reunion, Davenport, some parts of Claremont. So those are probably the hottest spots right now for short-term renting.
Right. And then out of all those towns that you mentioned, which one do you believe might be the one that long term gives you the highest appreciation value over time?
Yeah, so it depends a lot, especially with Airbnbs, the thing that's tricky about Airbnbs is it's all in how you market the Airbnb. And what I have come across in the past is I've had clients that have Airbnb'd and have had bad reviews in their first couple of months with short-term renting, and that does affect your turnaround. Like that does affect, what you're going to make off of a property. So I would just highly encourage, if you're doing everything right, every property is very, very different, but you should see the kind of investment that you're searching out for with short-term renting. But with short-term renting, some people don't factor in the fact that there are, cleaning costs, and it's not like, when you do long-term renting, you would only hire a cleaner in between, renters from one tenant to the next. Well, this is like every 2 days. So who's your cleaning lady? Who's the handyman that you're using? Or who's the property management company? These are all expenses that will all tie into your bottom line. So it's really important I say, to have a good team first, like figure out who are these people going to be, figure out what their costs are first before you invest in an actual short-term property. Or you can work with a real estate professional like me that has these teams already lined up. All you have to do is like plug and play into that. So, but you want to do your research because all of that affects your bottom line. And there's a lot, you've got to be careful because there are a lot, just like anything else, but there's a lot of property management companies and handyman and people that promote that their Airbnb specialty is their thing, but they end up being like really big scams. So you got to be careful with that. But all of that affects your bottom line. So it really just depends on how the size of your house. Some tips that I tell people go for the most bedrooms that you can afford in your budget. because that will increases the money that you'll keep in your pocket, the bottom line, right? So I would go, the bigger you can go, the better. I will also recommend theme it, right? I have a friend of mine who just bought an Airbnb, and her whole theme around the whole entire house is Alice in Wonderland. So it's so cute. They've got like upside down photos, pink walls, like everything is just so adorable. But that's what really sells your Airbnb. So you want to make sure you have a budget for what are you theming the rooms or the house or the pool area. You want to make sure you have a budget around a good team that's going to do, the quick turnaround with cleaning and flipping it for the next tenant. All of that affects your bottom line.
Got it. And I mean, like you said, when you're doing short-term rentals, yes, you're getting income, but you also have to keep in mind how long are you going to be able to rent it for? Because I'm sure that in Florida, there's also a season where everybody's renting, getting to Airbnb because they need to go to Disney or whatever attractions are up and coming then. Now, when it comes to long-term rental, obviously that's different. That's a price that you're going to get every month. Which area do you see for long-term, not short-term, but for long-term, that you see appreciation, that they can see, maybe in a year or in 5 years or so, they can see an appreciation maybe by 5 or 10%?
Yeah. So what I always tell people is there's a couple of rule of thumbs when you're looking for long-term renting and you want to get the better return on that. I always say you always want to look for the good school zones. And usually good school zones are important because you usually have tenants that stay in there for the school zone and they'll stay in there for a long time. So those are the tenants that you want to keep, and that's usually where you get the better return. And then obviously, like I have clients, most of my clients also do long-term, and they love, like, every year that the tenant, renews, they do a cool feature to the house. I don't know, they just add on something that makes lifestyle a little easier in the house. But what's cool about that, again, this keeps your tenant in there, especially when you have a good tenant. The problem is that when you're a bad landlord, you're going to have a hard time. So you want to make sure that you're the kind of landlord that takes care of his tenants. But as far as hotspots, just in general, I would look into Mineola, Florida. Mineola, Florida is in Lake County. It's about 30 minutes north of, like Orlando, like the central metro Orlando. But everything out there, they've knocked down probably over 100 acres of trees, and it's all new construction. And it's just, Lake County is very up and coming. So I would look into something like that. Only for long term, because these are places there's a lot of rules around no short-term renting in these kind of places, I'm telling you. I would also look into the Dr. Phillips area where I live, which is very close to Windermere and Winter Garden. It's also very close to Disney, those things, but this gives you more like local vibe. And again, very, very, very reputable school zones in those cities. Going over to the east side, I would look into Lake Nona. Lake Nona is like the tech city, is kind of it's also medical city. That's where the veteran hospital is, in Lake Nona. But it's also like 10 minutes from the airport. So for those that are traveling frequently from New York or anywhere up north to Orlando, it's going to put you in a position where you're very close to the airport, but also really good schools, really good environment, really nice houses. So those are some of the hot spots that if you're looking for long-term, I would advise in those areas. I probably missed a couple, but those are some of my favorite areas.
Well, I appreciate you giving us at least 3, because I don't want to overwhelm everyone. Now, right. I do want to ask you, based on those 3 for long term, and even if you want to throw me some short terms, what are you looking at price range for, roughly? Let's say for a 3-bedroom, which is kind of the average, right? A 3-bedroom, 1 bath, maybe 2 bath is the average.
Yeah, I always recommend anyone that's buying in Florida, especially for the first time, but you always want to go at minimum 3-bedroom, 2-bath for single family. And I'm always thinking about resale, and I'm always thinking about your equity, right? So I always recommend 3-2 at minimum. And then most people like to add pools, pools have been a hit ever since COVID. So, but you're looking at, so Lake Nona, average price point is going to be somewhere in the mid 500s, starting out. In Dr. Phillips, I would say Dr. Phillips, Winter Garden, and Windermere. Windermere is about average price point somewhere around $750, $800 on up. And then Dr. Phillips, you're looking at 550, and then Winter Garden, same. So they're all right about the same. Um, yeah. So they're all right about the same. Windermere is going to be where Bay Hill is. If you guys are familiar with, if you're not familiar with Windermere, like it's a lot of the celebrities live in Windermere. A lot of celebrities that live in Florida, they live in Windermere. And so that's going to be a little bit more of a higher price point, an average price point.
And what would you say would be the average rental, just to kind of get an idea of what would be their actual return if they were to do long term? Because the idea here is, if you're thinking about, hey, you know what, I want to move to Florida, but I'm thinking about moving to Florida in 5 years or maybe a year or 2 years, because what we have seen in the past, 5 years or even 2 years, Florida keeps going up and up in prices. So if you are thinking about moving in 5 years, maybe buying a property, renting it out long term for a year or two, not have to deal with the headache of
Yeah.
Airbnb if you don't want to, that at least you're getting some equity and getting some rental in between as well. So what would be the average rent you will say for those locations roughly?
I tell people, like, in those areas, you don't want to rent. Those areas are they're just money making machines if you have home properties there. It's a waste of money, honestly, to rent out there. So like when people talk to me about rentals, I honestly am like, I can do that for you. Rentals is not a big thing in those areas, because if you just can acquire a property, I mean, your equity grows in a year out here. I mean, just last year to this year, equity's risen between 3 to 5% in some of those areas in just 1 year. So, if you're going to rent, to me, that doesn't make a very smart financial decision. It's not a very smart financial decision. I would say rental prices probably for houses that over there are going to be upwards of $5,000 or more. And for that,
Well, that's not bad. I mean, my thing is, if you're trying to stay in the, buy it now, because you're saying it's going up 5% every year. So if you're thinking 5 years waiting, and with $5,000 or 500, depending on how much you're putting down, that would actually cover everything for that mortgage. And what I like about Florida is not like New York, that if the person doesn't want to leave here, you got to wait 6 months to possibly a year to kick a tenant out, versus in Florida, you can get them out within 30 days. Is that right? Right. So that's why, kind of like giving them also that opportunity. Now, one of the things that we're hearing a lot about Florida, and actually everywhere, insurance have gone up. Home insurance have gone up everywhere. So a lot of people are saying, hey, I might not even want to go to Florida because of insurance. So how is this insurance affecting buyers and also homeowners currently?
I actually really love that question, because I feel like people just overdo it when it comes to insurance. Yes, insurance. The problem is that after the hurricanes, a lot of insurance companies left Florida. Then what happens when, the usual supply and demand, there is a demand for insurance and there's only two companies. So guess what those companies can do? They can hike up their rates, right? So I tell people, I'm like, but insurance companies have been coming right back. You know why? Because Florida's the hot spot, and nationwide, Florida is where people are continuously buying, right? Like, thanks to Disney and thanks to, our health systems like Advent Health and these big hospitals that are here, they keep our economy sustainable because they are consistently hiring. There's a lot of relocation coming. So Florida's
taxes too. I mean, let's not forget about taxes.
Texas, yes, but I'm biased to Florida. Florida's better. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so with the insurance thing, so here's, if you're buying a house near the ocean, there's going to be more risk. If you're buying the house, even like Tampa, where like these hurricanes are consistently coming and smashing, like I hate it. It's super sad because I love Tampa, but the insurance is going to be higher there. The further in you go, the cheaper your insurance is going to be. And that's not to say, like, it's not like just Orlando insurance is going to be cheaper, because Orlando, just like any city in the central part of Florida, they have flood zones. So that is all public information. So if there's a property that you're interested in, like, anyone can see if there's a flood zone. If it's flagged in a flood zone, insurance is going to be higher, obviously. So the simple way to think about this is the higher the risk, the more insurance is going to be. So I mean, prices of insurance, that really just depends on the house. I can't give you figures for that, but right. The basic rule of thumb is the higher the risk, the higher your insurance is going to be. Now, also new communities. So if you're looking at like new infrastructure, so like new home builders and some very reputable builders, insurance companies usually give discounts because it's a new home. So if you go the new home route, that's also another option if you want to try to figure out a cheaper way to get insurance. And then there's some reputable builders that insurance companies like, and same thing, like they will help out with, I mean, they don't help, but that's a good way to get, cheap insurance as well. But as a Florida resident, if you do decide to make your house your primary residence, right? So Florida does this thing where it's called homestead exemption. And so what homestead exemption is that you technically can write off up to $50,000 of it's called taxable.
So wow, Jennifer, you gave so much information about insurance. I mean, information that is valuable that I even going to take into account. So now explain to me a little bit, is there anything else that you didn't mention about insurance that might be a benefit for someone that's actually buying for the first time here in Florida?
Yes, I would highly encourage you when you get an inspection to request a 4-point inspection. Why that's important, most insurance companies want to see a 4-point inspection. 4-point inspections cover the roof, which is called a wind mitigation report, which is going to essentially tell the insurance company how strong the roof is if there was a hurricane. It's also going to focus on plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, so the AC. And it's just a very small report, but if you turn that into your insurance company, they look through to see which features of this house is going to be able to qualify for discounts. So don't forget to get a 4-point inspection when you're buying your house in Florida.
Wow, and that's why it's so important for you to hire a right agent that can actually guide you, because I'm sure not a lot of people know about it. I mean, I didn't even know that was an opportunity for someone there in Florida. How much of a change it will be here in New York too if you can take your home inspection to your home insurance company and actually get a discount. This is great info, Jen. Thank you so much. And while we're talking about New York, one thing about New York and why people are leaving New York is because of the taxes. In addition to all this politics about the mayor changing things here, but more importantly, they're talking about taxes. Taxes here in New York are insane, as well as property tax. So what are some tax benefits do out-of-state buyers have or they get when they actually move to Florida and make Florida their primary residence?
That's a really good question. So there are, one of my favorite things that Florida does is you have what's called the homestead exemption when you make your property your primary residence. So I have to make that clear, because if you're buying properties out here as an investment, this will not work for you.
You need to move to Florida, it sounds like.
You need to move to Florida and make it your primary residence. So property taxes in Florida, it's pretty much based on the county that you move in. So Orange County. So Orange County assesses this house and they say, the amount of taxes that a homeowner needs to pay on that house is, to give you a ballpark, it's usually, I mean, if you go essentially the bigger the house, the more taxes you're paying. But in an average house, you're looking anywhere between $2,000 to like $5,000 in taxes per year. That's like an average 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house. Again, it does go up the bigger the house. But anyways, so the county looks at each house and they determine what's the taxes on the house. So what homestead exemption does, it's going to allow you to take off up to $50,000 of the taxable value and write that off of your primary residence. So essentially what it does is it decreases your taxes on the house, which then decreases your mortgage payment. So that's a really cool gift that they give us. Now, our governor is petitioning this year. He's putting on the ballot that we're going to remove, like to see what people vote, to see if people want to remove taxes altogether, because essentially we bought the house, right? So what he's saying is that we are essentially paying rent to the county, and that should be removed if we bought the house. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Some people are a little in opposition about that, but I'm really excited to see how that goes, because that will help a lot of our older people or people buying cash who still have to pay taxes, right? You still have to pay taxes if you're buying a house cash. So we'll see what happens here.
Wow, that's going to be crazy. I mean, that's going to make people even want to move even more to Florida. I mean, here in New York, I mean, even the difference about homes that you value taxes based on how big the homes are. Unfortunately, here in New York, you could be in the smallest little house, but you are, let's say, in Astoria or in a big area. It doesn't matter. They're still going to charge you taxes based on the homes in the area, which is kind of a bummer. So that's another benefit, I guess, of being in Florida with taxes. And now if they remove taxes completely, wow, that's going to be insane. So I do have a question. Let's just go back again, right? Because we're talking to both people that are looking to possibly move and people that are looking to invest. So what would be the tax benefit for someone that's an investor? And you did went over and you talked a little bit about someone that lives there and is a resident. Yeah. How would it be like for an investor?
So investors, they pay taxes differently because they don't qualify for homestead. So their assessed value can increase up to 10% per year, and they're taxed on the full value of the property. So it's a little bit different for investors, primary residents, like I said, homestead exemption, and then much slower tax increases over time than it would investors. So that's probably the biggest change when someone's buying as an investment as pertaining to taxes.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Now, how fast did you say a deal actually happens in Florida? Because here in New York, if somebody says, you know what, I want to put my house in the market, I want to sell my property, we put it on the market, and let's say that we get a buyer quickly, we put it on the contract, whether you're buying or selling here in New York, it normally takes about 60 days to actually go to closing. And that's the standard. It could actually even take longer. There's been times where there's sellers and buyers that sometimes are under contract for 3, even 6 months. But here the average is 60 days. What is it in Florida?
So it depends. So cash deals close in 2 weeks. Oh wait, let me rewind, because it's so weird. Up there you guys need attorneys.
Right.
Here you don't need attorneys, so you're not paying attorneys' fees.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, we do have closing costs, which you're going to pay a closing company money to essentially record everything. And so I'm sure that's similar, but you don't hire a realtor and an attorney. The realtor, a trained realtor pretty much works as your representation when you buy a house. So as far as closing times,
hold on a second. So you're saying that the realtor is actually doing the contract, because you don't have an attorney. The attorney is the one that does the contract here in New York. So you're saying in Florida, as the realtor, will be making the contract. And this is why it's so important that you hire the right agent, because I'm sure there's been cases where that's everywhere. I mean, if a realtor here were to create their own contracts, I mean, that would be just chaos. So I'm hearing there that, you have to be a very smart realtor to actually, do a contract and send that over.
Our contracts are pre-written by attorneys, right? And then they're approved by the board, essentially the real estate agent board, the realtor board. But still, there's a bunch of fill in the blanks in that contract. And if you work with someone inexperienced, they're either you're going to literally end up paying more money at the end. I promise you, I've seen it every single time. But yeah, so in our contract, there's over 17 spaces where you can negotiate. And if you don't work with someone that understands how to negotiate those terms, because there's more than just negotiating. You negotiate on price, okay, that's given, but you can also negotiate on terms. There's a bunch of terms. So if someone doesn't understand that contract, then it's going to be really hard for you to get the best deal.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's also good to know. I did not know that, but keep going ahead. I know the title company then is also handling the transaction.
So I'll go through the whole process. So once we find a house, typically you're going to have an escrow deposit, and then the escrow deposits, it just depends on a lot of things, but you're going to have 3 days to make sure that deposit is made. Once that's made, you typically have somewhere between, and this is negotiable, but somewhere between like 7 to 10 days to do an inspection on the house. If you are a cash buyer, that time has got to be a lot smaller. Again, negotiable. But cash deals close in about 2 weeks, as quick as 2 weeks. financing deals can close I've seen financing deals close in 20 days, and I've seen financing deals close in 45 days. So it really just depends on, again, just the team that you're working with. Like, how quick is your realtor and your financing team working with you? It's very, very, very important.
I just wanted to mention that one of the things here is I've helped people actually sell their home here in New York and then move to Florida. And the way that I do that is we first go under contract here. We put your home on the market, get it under contract. And then once we have it under contract, we take that contract as proof that that's going to be your either cash deal or at least how you're going to come with the major down payment. You obviously still need at least $10,000 for escrow, but at least you can start the process, right? And now that it takes 30, you said, it could take up to 2 weeks to actually get your new home, that in the meantime, you can now start looking for property and not be rushed while you're on the contract. Because here in New York, it takes 60 days. You're telling me in Florida, it could take, as little as 2 weeks. And let's say the max 45 days. So here in New York, even though your contract says 60 days, we are still able to add another 30 days. So in reality, if you're looking to sell here in New York and buy in Florida, it could be very easily done by,
Yep.
hey, go ahead. I tell Jen, hey, Jennifer, here's the contract. They're ready to go. Jen is going to then start sending you properties. Even how do you start showing property? Let's go into that. Let's say somebody wants to buy a home. They already put their home under contract here. They're ready to go, but they cannot, go to Florida, let's say next week to look, but they do want to have homes already lined up to see. How do you work with clients that are out of state?
I love that you asked that, because I was actually going to say that anyway. So like, you list a property, you're under contract. So we do two things. Sometimes there's people that cannot come out here in the timely manner, whether that because of health, that be because of timing, work, whatever. I personally will go visit properties. I have my phone set up fully charged, so that way we can do FaceTime or WhatsApp, all these video apps out there, and we could do a virtual tour where I actually tour the property, and I'm literally with my phone going around like this, up, down, I'm very honest. I look at things like the AC. Now, I'm not an AC tech, and I'm certainly not a plumber, but I know what looks bad, right? And I've been doing this for 12 years, so I know enough to look at something and be like, oh boy, we need to get this looked at. And then I do work with a construction team. So they're like my right-hand people. So if I needed something to be looked at tomorrow, they're right there, gonna go look at it for me. So, I give you the virtual tour. We look at everything into super detail. You tell me you want to put an offer on it. What I advise sometimes my relocation people is if you can't make it to come see the house, you do have that inspection period window. And I know some realtors are probably going to punch me for this one, but you do have that inspection period window where we can put the offer, it gets accepted, everyone's signed, and that inspection period starts, and you can try to make your trip to come out there and do inspections all at one time. So you're there for the inspection and you're there to see the house at the same time. And then that way we get everything done while you're here, and see what else is around. So that process would be, you list it, you get them under contract, they make a trip out here. If they can't, I could do a virtual tour for them, help them get under contract when they fall in love with the house. And then they have to come see the house. So I always encourage them, come see the house at least for the day of the inspection. And then we continue on from there. And again, we can time it out between listing with you and the closing date with you. Like, some people need that money from their house to come down here. So we can time it out where they close at the same exact time. So if your closing date is December 1st over there, we can work it out where it's okay, they're closing in the morning over there with you in New York, and then in the evening they're closing here. If it's a cash deal, you don't have to be present. If it's financing, you don't have to be, it doesn't matter the closing, if it's cash or financing. We can always send a notary to that closing company that you're at in New York, and you can do all the paperwork that day. You don't have to physically be here, is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, that's absolutely right.
There's a lot of flexibility there for you if you want to make this happen.
Yeah, the only thing is just waiting for the money to be. One of the things that I realized is the money doesn't even get wired to the seller's account. It actually stays and it gets wired to the title company in Florida. So then that way everything is done smoothly on the same day. And what I like about New York is that you actually do have a clause where you can actually stay in the property for about 5 days if you wish to. I mean, you can stay 5 days, get everything packed, get everything ready, and start heading to Florida if that's the case. What I love about Jennifer here, and I don't know if you realized it, I realized it, is that she is a full service agent. What do I mean by that? She just told you she has handyman, she has cleaning company. If you're looking to do short sale, I mean, not short sale, if you're looking to do short term, she has everybody for you. I'm sure if you're looking to do a short sale, she can also help you with that, and so can I. But one of the things is that I like about Jennifer is that she has a team ready. I'm sure she has an inspection company that already will give you those 4 points, that's not even something she needs to ask, that's something that's mandatory. I'm sure she has an insurance company that can probably get you a better deal. I'm sure she has title company that you might need, and she knows how to do her contracts, which is great to know, and she's able to negotiate, and more importantly, she has 12 years of experience. And I've worked with you, Jennifer. I love how you work with my clients. That's why we're even doing this together, because they are hundreds, if not, there's thousands, if not hundreds of realtors in Florida, but I choose to work with you because I know that you come from heart. I know that you care about the people that you're working with. You don't only look at them like money or a check, you look at them like family. And that's why I love sending clients over to you. So is there anything else that I haven't asked you or mentioned that is important for someone that's looking to move to Florida?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just knowing, like, yes, you can get the big house with the pool, but maybe a good second home for you is starting off with a condo, right? And you can get condos very on the low end, like maybe $200,000, $300,000. You can find a little condo. So just knowing that there's such a wide range of properties that you can get in areas you can get it in. And the coolest thing is that Orlando, we're dead smack middle of Florida. We're literally only a 45-minute drive to the nearest beach. So if you ever had dreams of buying a beach house, but you're like, Jesus, the beach houses are $10 million because they're very expensive, it's only a 45-minute drive, and it's such an easy drive. So that's what I want to end with. And thank you for your time, Rosa. You're amazing.
Thank you. And I appreciate you even saying that, because I don't want people to get fixated. Oh my God, it's 500,000. I love the fact that you said, listen, we can get you a condo, which I'm sure we can probably Airbnb some of those if you're looking to. But the whole idea, again, that I always mention here is invest, right? Try to invest, because your money sitting in a bank account is not doing anything for you. So if you can go to Florida, invest. If your mindset is, you know what, when I retire, I want to move to Florida, take advantage of it now, because as you know, everything's going up. And if they're removing that tax, right, getting that home tax, they're going to be removed, forget it. I think that's going to blow up Florida even more. As I already think it's overblown up already, it's going to be even more.
It
Take advantage.
And you know, to your point, honestly, like we're close to beaches and things like that, but you know, whatever you want to do, I know you would do this too, Rosa, but like we can literally plan it out. Whatever your 2026 goals are, even if it's like, in 5 years I want to retire. If you're in New York, get with Rosa so she can give you an idea of how much equity you have in your home. And then she'd connect you with me, and I can help you plan out where's the area that's best for you. What does that price look like with the equity that you have on your home? And I think that's why we're such a good duo, because we can help you with the plan, and we get you in both different angles. So just make sure that you're reaching out to us if you're looking to, in the next 5 years, you just want to put a plan together. That's what we're really good at.
And that's the plan here. So really guide you through the process and give you clarity and empower you with knowledge so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. And Jen, how can people get a hold of you? How can they contact you?
Well, you can always follow me on Instagram. I am Jennifer Wade. That's my handle. You can contact me. You can literally just text me 407-394-9342. And like I said, if you wanna just put a plan together, just text me and let me know that you are thinking about retiring or whatever the case may be. And I'd be glad to help.
Thank you so much, Jen. And guys, you know how to get a hold of me. My number is 917-833-0582. Here to help you with all your New York State needs. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.